Welcome y'all to Peep Game TV. I'm your man SRD with my man AKA Jay Sean, Mr. F Love. We're here on this August 15th, Friday. You know, you guys could have been anywhere, but we're glad you're here with us today. So, you hear it in the background. Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
like that cut. I like that
you
cut.
know, yeah. So, we go hard like we always do. We
You
go
know,
hard here,
you know,
you
you
know.
know.
And they can't stop us because we going hard. So
Facts.
that's what it's all about. It's time for us to do what we got to do. So like usual, let's get into it, brother.
How you doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm great to see our family, man. Great to be above ground another day. You know, so that's what it is.
That's a
Peace, just.
that's a main one. That's a main thing right there.
Yeah. So
We still
here,
here.
here.
We still got a purpose.
Yeah. Still got something to live for and still got something to contribute to life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Anybody who above ground right now, you got a purpose. The thing is to get through all the, distractions of everyday life and find out what that purpose is.
yep.
That's the difficult part,
Right about that.
because we all have a purpose.
That's right about that, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good tonight.
Yeah. I'm
You know.
glad you're feeling good, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hope all you feeling good out there. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. So,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, getting, doing whatever you do. If it's laying back, if it's sipping, if it's working out, if it's chilling, whatever it is. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves.
True. That's right. Um, trying to pull up this.
Peace, just.
Who that? Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, peace, just peace.
Yeah. So you said, let's let's who started last week? Basically,
I think I did.
you started, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
So
I come with the question for you first. Um,
yeah, give it to me. You know.
um, everybody know our format by now. We try to um bring out questions for each other that's affecting the world today. Hopefully we tapping in with all that. If not, I was thinking too, Sha, if people who listening, if they want to send us some questions they want us to tackle or answer, we could try that too
Oh,
sometime.
absolutely. Yeah, if they got questions, I'm open to that.
Yeah,
It's about us. It's
yeah,
about all of us, those watching and us. You
yeah,
know what I mean? We all one. That's what it's about. Let's get
yeah,
it.
yeah. So we know we everybody know that how they said money make the world go round. Um, money is the root to all evil,
So they say.
so they
You know
say.
what I mean?
But we need it to make our life more comfortable. Um,
Absolutely.
we needed to, uh, to take care of families, and you know, we needed to survive. So, I have the question right here. One second.
Yeah, it's definitely a necessity. Yeah, I mean, we definitely need it to survive, to take care of everyday, you know, life, food, clothes, and shelter. The main three things. We
Yeah,
definitely need it for that, for the food, clothes, and the shelter.
and what we not mentioning? That's like the question I wanted to ask you tonight was, do you think or can wealth Can wealth fix? Do you think that wealth can fix a person's pain?
Mm, wow. Yeah. Let me contemplate that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I because there are a lot of wealthy people, and I've there are wealthy people who have taken their own lives. You know what I'm saying? So for me, based on that, and based on me hearing people speak about it and my own experiences, I don't believe money or being wealthy can fix your pain. Because I mean, people with money go through things just like other people. People with money get their feelings hurt. Money don't protect you from or exempt you from everyday life. Emotional stress. It don't protect you from that. It don't protect you from somebody breaking your heart. You know, it don't protect you if somebody, busts you in the head with a bat. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say it doesn't fix pain. However, it can get you things that can help you get rid of that pain or help you cope with that pain because you can get therapy. You can go on trips, so it's a double-edged sword. It can in one area and it can in another area.
Mm-hmm.
So I if money's used right, yeah, it can mask pain, it can help pain, it can help you alleviate it if it's used correctly. And but overall, it cannot stop you from feeling pain. It can't stop you from being exposed to pain. You can use it in a manner that can help you work through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say yes, it can in one extent. However, I've I've seen happiness, especially when I was young, happiness and less pain with less money. You know what I mean? With less money. When I was younger, it wasn't about lavish things. It wasn't about uh, Gucci this and couture that. It wasn't about that. It was about family, being able to connect with people, being able to show love, share love, and be loved. So the downside about having wealth is you don't know if people love you for you or they just loving you for that wealth. They loving you for that money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's your thoughts?
One thing we didn't
Peace, Neff. What's up, baby?
one thing we didn't say was that the more money, the more problems, and
The
and
biggie thing.
more money, the more problems, and also you can't take it with you.
Well, definitely that part. That I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying?
You can't take it with you. So can wealth fix pain? Maybe mental pain. Maybe if like if your bills you got a lot of bills and they just piled up on your table or something, and that's causing you like stress, anxiety, panic attacks, headaches. So maybe by having wealth, if you could be able to pay your bills and stuff. It might alleviate some of them problems. But like you said, though, it can't stop a broken heart. It can't stop um the unforeseen things that's gonna happen to you. If you slip and fall, uh, can't stop you from getting injured. So it's a lot of different pains out there. That money can't fix. I think it could. I think it could, the only thing maybe it could fix. It could fix pain from money can make your life more easier. But you said a good thing a few minutes ago. A lot of people with money commit suicide. A lot of people with money uh, have money and don't even leave it to people in a will. So if say like if a rich person got money, it must be a reason why he wanted to leave it, to somebody else. You know what I mean? It got to be it got to be a reason why he would want to. Was he selfish? So that means he was had money and he was selfish. He had money and he was jealous. He had money and he still was envious of people. He had money and he still was scared. He still was weak. You know what I mean? Maybe he had money and felt strong. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I don't think money can fix pain on a whole. I think in the long run, if you got an abundance of money, it might cause more problems because you got to think. I heard like Clarissa Shields saying, the boxer,
Right.
female boxer. She said once she got money, that's when everything. She bought her family, her mother a car, her father a car, her sister a car. She bought everybody she could do stuff. But that's when people turned against her because she had money. So she was trying to help people get rid of their pain, but instead they gained jealousy against her. Or I guess it was jealousy or whatever it was. I don't really know, but I can't speak for them. But for whatever it is, in that situation, I don't think money stopped the pain.
Well, yeah. Well, based on that situation, it created pain for
It
her
created pain.
with her family,
Right.
and more than likely, in those cases, a lot of times when you are the person who had money, you're fine with everybody in the family as long as you're giving to them. The pain comes when you say no. You know what I'm saying? That's when they start, turning against you and start telling you, oh, you think you this, you think you that. But long as you cater to their needs, you the best person in the world. You
so
know?
so we could look at money in a lot of different ways. A lot of people pray for it, steal for it, kill for it, uh, do a lot of things for money. But in the end, is it the end means? Is it the solution to our problems? Or I don't think so.
You're right. And it depends on the problem. Plus you brought something to my mind. I read in the Quran today that there's three things that a person goes to the graveyard with. And they only one remains. So one is your property, one is your people, the people that go there with you, and the other one is your deeds.
Mm,
Only one left is your deeds. What
mm,
you've done here in this life, that's what remains with you.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Your property, all that goes back. That stays here.
Yeah.
Your family members, they stay here. But your deeds, how you treated people, you know what I mean? What type of
Hmm.
person you were, those things come with you in the grave. You
That's true.
know?
That's true. That's true.
So I thought that was interesting, and I thought that kind of go in with the money situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there, we say money is the root to evil, and it's for me, it's what you just said it. what you're willing to do to get the money can turn to evil, and how you use the money can end up evil. The money itself is just an object that you
Yep.
use to, for everyday life. It's
A
just an object.
piece, a piece of paper.
Right, right. That's it. That's all it is. It's
Yep.
like a car. A car only dangerous when the wrong person behind the wheel. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Same thing with guns.
Hey, 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 Miss Allen. Yeah, yeah. So that's my take on it. But
Yeah. Mine
you
too.
know, yeah, let's keep it moving right on along. Now, when we grew up, our parents, we appeared to be different from the way our parents grew up, especially with the activities that we indulged in compared to what our parents indulged in. You
Mm.
know, we were, kind of hanging out on the corners, and they didn't care too much for that, being in the street, things of that nature, and they didn't care too much for that. They were more or less get jobs, go to school, get a job, you know.
Yeah.
So now, my question is, do you think the mindset that our children have is just as different as with their parents as our mindset was with our parents?
Mm. That's a hard one right there. Um, I think we said something about that earlier. I think that I think a lot of it got to do. Earlier, I was thinking about that, and I thought a lot of that got to do with respect, because even though I don't think we didn't really listen to what our well we did listen to our parents, but we still did certain things we wanted to do. But no matter what, we respected our parents. The things we did in the street, we can't blame them for it.
No, of course
I
not.
mean, because they told us and we listened, but we just chose to do what we wanted to. We chose to do what we wanted to do. The difference I think between us and our parents and the kids now and us is it is respect, but it's more than that. Um, somewhere along the line, the the meaning the what's the word, the life, the the will to live, no, the importance of life changed.
Okay.
It changed, whereas the kids now, a lot of them, they don't really care if they live or die. um they don't care about legacy. They don't care if they got children that might be looking up to them, and I'm not talking about all the kids. We just talking about most of them. From the time, because I think about me, uh my mother my mother told me right from wrong, why we chose to hang out, or why I chose to hang out on the corner. I don't know. Why I chose to do the things I did in the street. I'll never know. uh I guess it was for money, uh recognition, fame, street cred, I mean. And I think it was just trying to be your own man. Just, you grown or you being your own man. But somewhere along the line, the kids nowadays, it's almost like they living like they wasn't taught anything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's not a good thing to say, but you know what I mean. But it just seemed like they weren't. It seemed like they weren't taught, or either put it like this: they didn't listen to anything. Because put it like this: we used to take, if our parents told us something, we would still take it in. We would take whatever we thought was good, and we would keep it, and whatever we thought was didn't apply, we let it fly. You know what
absolutely,
I mean? Because
absolutely.
I used to be in the streets doing bad things or doing things, and my mother voice would ring out in my mind.
Right,
You know that what she
right,
said.
right, right. Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
do this.
yeah. That certain thing that gets you to say, "I got to ease up."
Yeah, so you
Right.
that would ring in your mind. I think that's the difference now that the kids today they don't they don't have. I don't think they have the time or had the time or wanted the time to listen to what their parents was telling or still telling them now today because you never stop teaching your kids. You always building your children, but I think the whole no I do I think the whole thing in a nutshell is it start with respect. It's not no more, it's not respect like we had. I don't think the kids respect their parents like the respect that we had. Even though we didn't listen, it's like it sounds kind of
Well,
like a maze or
yeah,
something.
like it's almost like a contradiction
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But but the reality is, as you said, we listened.
Right,
We didn't always obey.
right.
That, that's the difference. We
That's
didn't always obey. We listened. We heard them. We let them talk because remember, during the time we was coming up, it was like you know you couldn't say nothing back to your parents. You
right.
had to listen to what they said. You didn't have a voice to debate. You know what I'm saying? Where children have now. No, the parents say, "Cause I said so." That was it. You know what I mean? Ain't no explanation needed why I said why they said what they said. You know, because I said so. And in your mind, you thinking, so what does that mean? Because you said so. I'm supposed to do it because you said so. Now the difference is the children are, and this is my opinion. I think the children are listening to their parents, but they're also watching what their parents do.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, you know, don't 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 hang out in the club, don't smoke, don't carry a gun, and you doing those things around them, you smoking, you drinking, you cursing, you know what I'm saying? So they're saying like, well, if it's good for you, it's good for me.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
You know, and remember our parents, we didn't see a lot of stuff. They kind of hid a lot of stuff from us. They
Mm,
weren't forthcoming a lot of times with certain things. You know what I mean? You know, they would tell you what not to do, and that's it. You know, they didn't. They, you know, the old story you would hear from most of your parents is, I had to walk to school barefooted. I had to walk on to school almost 20 miles
yeah,
barefooted, or I had holes in my shoes. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So that's what you heard. But now the parents are saying things to the children, and remember they not coming correct. A lot of them.
Hmm.
So of course the children going to be a bit off if the parents ain't coming correct.
That's true.
And so I think that's part of the dynamic that we're dealing with, that and then the ones who are getting the proper information, it goes back to what you were saying. Now, peer pressure. They want to be down with their peers. They want to get some street cred. You
Yeah,
know, they want to be recognized. So they'll put what they know behind. They won't say, look, bro, don't pull that gun, man. You know what I mean? Look, bro, don't rob him. Look, bro, don't do that to that girl. You know what I'm saying? Don't treat her like that. No, you gotta be quiet because you want to fit in. You know where we used to pull each other coattails. You know, if you saw me doing something that you thought was kind of foul, you would say something. If I saw you doing something I think was kind of foul, I would say something.
yeah,
So we kept each other balanced. There's no balance, and like you were saying, the reason it seems like there's disrespect because there's there's no railing. You know what I mean? The guardrails are down. We
yeah,
had guardrails. You can go here, you can do this, but nah, we ain't doing that. We're not gonna do this thing here. You know what I'm saying? We will put limits, and I think young people now operating without limits. You
yeah.
know,
That's a good word for it.
without limits. They're not placing limits on things they will do and things they won't do. So I think that's the major difference in how some young people, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to say the majority. This is a few. But because a few bad apples can spoil a whole bunch, the few shines. The few that's doing what they're doing, that supersedes the ones that are not doing a lot of times. You know what I mean? Because that's the behavior that is magnified.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion.
Nah. You answered it better than me. Yeah, you hit it right on. You hit it right on the nose. Right on the nose. I'm sure a lot of people
Hey, how you doing?
got to understand it from that. But moving right along. Um,
Yeah.
and this kind of ties into what we was talking to too.
Hold up a minute. Let's see if anybody got. Remember we want to give the people a little chance
Oh,
to say
okay.
something. If they got a question, they got a response. They just want to shout out. We want to give y'all a few minutes before we go into the next question. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all from taking the time out of your busy Friday to spend with us. And we're honored for that. you know. We just want y'all to enjoy the show and hopefully learn something. You know what I mean? Hopefully be inspired. That's what the show's about. Okay, so nobody have no questions or anything or no shout outs. Go ahead, brother.
Um, we since we talking about the youth and we know how tied in the youth are with social media nowadays. Um, it seemed like that had captivated the whole younger generation. But this a question I got for you. Do you think social media and entertainment is a new form of indoctrination? But first you got to explain indoctrination because I don't even know what that means.
Okay, indoctrination is basically like religion.
Okay.
How religion has been used to get people to think a certain way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Certain people who Pentecostal believe one way, certain people who are Jehovah Witness believe one way, certain people are Muslim believe another way. That is called indoctrination. You
Okay.
know what I mean? You've been indoctrinated with that belief or that system.
Okay.
So that's what how indoctrination works. You
Okay.
know, um, so getting back to the question, I think I think it is being used as a form of indoctrination. You know
The
what I mean?
social media. Social media.
Social media and entertainment.
Okay.
Because remember, for young people and everybody can be influenced.
Right.
You know, we all are capable of being influenced. So if you utilize an entertainer or you utilize popular people on the internet to push certain agendas, that's how you get that agenda across. Remember, gang activity didn't become really popular till the West Coast came out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg and all of them, you know what I mean? That so once the West Coast came out, it became popular. We knew about gangs, but it was far in between. We was crews, we was blocks, we was hoods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and add on that, you know, with the gunplay, a lot of the gunplay, you know, your rappers all rapping about what they doing with guns and all of this thing, all of this, you know, who they shooting at and how they living. It becomes a form of indoctrination because you listening to this and subconsciously it's registering into your thought pattern.
Right.
You know, same thing with you have, and this is where I say it indoctrinates adults with the social media. You have a lot of brothers on social media sites, and to me, this is my opinion. I think a lot of them, for the sake of gaining followers, they are misleading the women because they're making everything that seems to not go right in a relationship about the man. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
hear a lot of cats talk about, well, if your woman mad, it's you know it's because of you. If your woman is acting cold in the house, it's because of you. And don't get me wrong, there is some truth to that. However, women think for themselves. The way that these brothers be pushing this information out, they make it seem like the women is just going with whatever we tell them to do. And that's not the case. You know, I hear a lot of brothers, you know, complaining. You know, you want them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Complaining about how women are being. So if it's not all on the man because it's two people with two state of minds. So it like you have, you know, some women who feel like they can take care of them, they can take care of themselves with whatever they got, and you use whatever you got to take care of them. And whatever they want from you, it's your duty to give that to them. Now, okay, that's cool, but what about the man's needs? What about what I want? What about what I need? You know, what about what so that type of mindset, I believe is, you know, causing distinction between us and you know as men and women. And the other way with the music and the entertainers, because you look at it now, the way that most young people want to be a rapper or athlete or a social media influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what happens to the lawyers, the entrepreneurs, the archaeologists, the scientists, you know,
Engineers.
right? So these policemen, firemen, you know, a lot of other occupations that could be promoted.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I get why some people shy away from the police when it comes to our community. You know, I get that part, but you know, these are careers that you can make some money and you can retire with a fairly good pension. And
Hmm.
I think that's not being promoted enough. And I think we need to start trying to indoctrinate people with stuff like that. And that's my take on it. What you think?
Um, the social media is definitely influencing a lot of things, religion, um, people's cultures, um, just so much. You could go on and on. I give you an example. We see like the Indian women, and they wear their 3/4, their head covered, and the the whole 3/4
Yeah, yeah.
outfit, what you call it,
Arabics, the hijabs, yeah.
hijabs, the whole outfits. Now, all I ever knew is that I learned from the nation is that the women cover their hair in most in 3/4 of their body because their body is really for their man, and you shouldn't want another man lusting over your body. Now, if you go on the I've been on the YouTube and all that stuff like that, and they got the Indians and the Arabic ladies twerking, and I mean like that blew me away because I don't know if it's pushing false narratives, or I don't know if it's real. I don't know what it is, but it's something for my mind because you don't see them as that when you see them walking around. You know
Right.
what I mean? And then on another note, they they got the people that's catfishing people. You know what I mean? You think you talking to one person. Somebody told me that they got like four different pages. They this person on that page, they that person on this page. They they a woman on this page, they a man on this page, they this like now if that's not pushing a false message, then what is? I'm saying that because what you said about like far as the religion thing.
Right.
So I don't know what the social media was put here for, but whatever it was put here for, it don't went a whole nother different way. Assuming it was put here for the good of the world. Assuming, I mean, I guess it was because computers was started in what 79 or something like that, the first computer.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
they was put here to help with Google and all that. So we done came a long ways from just using the computer for information. We done came a long way. You know what I mean? You could be scammed on the computer. You could be misled on the computer. You could be other than yourself on the computer. It's just social media has just did so much that I think that it is pushing what's that word, indoctrination.
Indoctrination.
Yeah. I think it is in a big way. And I don't think it's for the good. That's
Okay.
just my opinion on it. And I
Okay.
think it's getting worse. I think it's gonna continue to get worse. I don't think it's gonna get better. Cause you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like, say like if they say you're supposed to be 18
Hey,
years
something.
old. You know what
You're
I
supposed
mean?
to be right, right.
But that's not true. You got kids 12 and 13 years old saying they 18. So whenever you have stuff like that going on, it can't help for the better. Well, I guess some of them, like TikTok and them, and some of them is trying to maintain it. But how you gonna maintain? How you gonna maintain something like the internet? That's like trying to have a hippopotamus as a pet in your house or a lion. You know what I mean? Social media has got so the realm has. got so big, man. I don't know. So I believe it is pushing indoctrination in more ways than one, and I don't think it's for the better. I think it's for the worse.
And and I agree, you know, and on the flip side of that, you also have individuals like ourselves, you know, who are putting truths out there.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
do.
so basically I look at it as you have more of a choice now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because let's face it, even listening to the news and media, they've been indoctrinated. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So they feed us a story that a lot of times we find out wasn't true.
Yep.
So now, at least with social media, you have something that can combat some of that, you know, some of that falsehood, some of that stuff that misleads you and, you know, get you, you know, indoctrinate your mind and your thoughts. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I look at it as it's a double-edged sword, depending on which edge you're gonna use.
Right. True. True.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
Right.
Now, you know, relationships, you know, that's one of your fortes. You know, you've had enough of your own, you've been married twice. So, you know, that's your forte. That's one of the things that you're passionate about because you see, you know, the dynamic of relationships and how they're going and things of that nature. So, is that what makes you not be afraid today to say, you know, in people relationships, you know, either say to people, either you're going to get got in a relationship or a person's going to get you in a relationship. So is that what makes you don't feel afraid to say that, or what motivates you to say something like that? That either you're going to get got or they're going to get you. Is that you know? Tell us what motivates you to feel that way.
Um. First and foremost, I like to say I don't get it. I don't get a kick out of saying that. I don't get a kick out of telling people in relationships is either you getting them or they getting you. Um, I don't get a kick or a good feeling about telling people that I don't believe love is real. Um, I don't get a kick out of saying that I don't see marriages and stuff like that staying together. I don't get a kick out of saying that. The reason why I say that is not only because maybe because of the life I lived. It's because it's a lot of things I have seen, a lot of things I have heard. Like most of the stuff I talk about, well, dealing with relationships, is not like opinionated. It's stuff that has actually happened to
Right.
me or that somebody else that it
That you
happened
know and
to
that you come in contact with.
that I came in contact with. I got friends that's been married a long time that's unfaithful. I got friends that been married a long time. Not even friends, family, friends, people I know who've been together a long time and they might not be together anymore. Um, I know people who engaged or people who are about to get married and they still cheating. Um, it's just that I see so much of it. So what should I do? Should I just keep my mouth closed and don't say nothing? Or should I be like everybody else and just say, yeah, it's love still out there for me, and I've been married 6 times, and I know it's one out there for me, or should I just said just 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 one day you're gonna find your soulmate, or love is there for you, or should I just tell people just that people that been married a long time and they unhappy? Should I just to tell them just stick in there, just stay in there, man, and just it's gonna get better, man. Just you know what I mean? I could do that. No, I'm not. Now I'm not.
But when you feel comfortable doing that,
I won't feel comfortable because no. Why I'm saying that is because just like me and your platform, we ask each other questions. You give your opinion, I give my opinion. We not we disagree a lot. I might say something, you disagree and give your opinion. I disagree and give my opinion. We do it in a respectful way. But we don't always agree on every question that we ask. And you be like, well, I see it like this or I see it like that. So it's just like you being a Moor.
right,
You like to talk about teach people and want to teach people and tell people what they originally are Moors and stuff like that. You don't care that people might say, man, I'm tired of Shah talking about that, or what is Shah talking about, man, or
right.
we African Americans, or we black, man, what is he Moors, what is he talking about? You know what I mean? You what would you be if you just said, I'm not gonna say nothing about it no more. I'm not gonna tell people the truth no more. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna agree with everybody else, and I'm gonna be an African American. I'm gonna call myself black. You know, I'm gonna say that everything that they told us is true. You know I'm
Yeah, no,
going
I
with it,
get
right?
exactly what you're saying. I
You
get exactly your conscience won't allow you to go with the facade.
so I just can't sit up here no matter what people say about me. Oh, you've been hurt, or you haven't been with the right woman yet, or I don't. No matter what people say, I'm just basing what I'm saying on facts, things that I have been through, things that I see people have been through, and things that I see people are going through right now. When I start seeing loving couples and I ain't gonna say they don't got no problems because nobody perfect. But when I see couples and I start seeing them and I'm like, damn, that's a loving couple right there. Wow, them two soulmates right there. Oh man, they made it. You know what I'm saying? And they doing their thing, man. And yo, man, love is here again. Love is back. You know what I'm saying? When I start seeing more of that and less than or what I see damn man, you married, man, why you still cheating, man? You been cheating 30 years, or damn, this female still talking to her ex, her baby father, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
damn, he engaged to get married and he's still messing around, or until I stop seeing that, I gotta be like a martyr. Also, I just gotta say what's on my mind. You know what I mean?
you got to ring the bell. Keep ringing the bell.
I just gotta keep whether it's helping people or hurting them. I don't really know, but I mean, don't get it twisted. Some people have came back to me and said, Jay Sean, I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean about a lot of things. And then I got a lot of people that say, you've been hurt. You've been with the wrong woman. You need to do this, go to church, or you just need this and that. I had a lot of people say that too, but I had a lot of people say, now I know what you're talking about. So anyway, that's what that's why I'm not afraid to just speak what's on my mind, because I'm not just guessing this. I'm not just picking these answers out the sky. You know what I mean? Everything I'm saying is factual. Because it's something that I know is going on. Not I'm not looking at two people and I'm not saying, damn, I think he cheating on his wife. I'm looking, oh, I think she still talk to her ex. Oh man, I think when he go to work, he not really going to work. Man, I think she got girl names in her phone, but it's really guys. But she got girl's name. She got the guy name under a girl name. I'm not. I'm
So
not
the
guessing stuff. That
right,
stuff.
right.
That stuff that I know for a fact.
Yeah. So
So
you basing your motivation you off of confirmation of people that you've actually come in contact. So what
yeah,
you're speaking is based on what you've seen,
what I see.
what you experienced and things of that nature. So I get that. And when this is one of the things that we do we kind of see differently. I don't think that people don't love. I think they are at a low level of loving. I think they, you know what I'm saying? I think their level hasn't increased to where you see it at. See, I
Mm,
think that's a higher level of love.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So it's not that people don't love, they just love on a low level. And they love on a low level because they haven't been shown how to love on a higher level.
Mm-hmm. I,
So you know what I mean? So you got to figure if like you said, there's very few people that you see that have relationships where they are totally comfortable with each other. You know what I'm saying? Where they are totally uh, honest and open with pretty much everything in their life, or the majority of things in their life, at least when it comes to other people. You know what I mean? Where they're able to say, look, you are the person for me, and I don't want nobody else but you, and mean it. And both people mean
right,
it. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So you
Both
right,
people.
right. So because that's a certain type of level of love, one person may be there. One person may be on that higher level, but the other person hasn't made it there yet. So what happens? You still see what you see. It still looks like people don't love,
Mm-hmm.
but they love, but they're just not on the same level. They're not loving on the same level. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's that's my take on it.
No, no, I know what you're saying. But that leads us. That's good because that everything is coinciding tonight. That lead me to my last question I got for you tonight. Um, and it's right along what we talking about now.
Okay,
Um, what so if that's what how you just well you just explained it, but I don't you almost answered the question I'm getting ready to ask you.
okay, go ahead.
Oh, wait a minute. What what do you think is missing in today's relationships?
Mm. And that's one thing, as I said.
What you almost
Pe-
just answered.
right, right. People meeting people, and they're not loving each other on the same level. That's
Mm,
one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people I believe are selfish lovers.
mm,
Some people are unselfish lovers.
mm.
So if a selfish lover meets an unselfish lover, the old saying, you're not equally yoked. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're gonna have problems because if one person is unselfish, that means they're giving all of themselves.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Everything they could do to make the relationship or marriage or whatever the situation better. The selfish lover, look, I'm gonna receive. You can keep giving, but I ain't giving you nothing back except when I feel like it or what I want to give you back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And another key component, I think people are not communicating properly. It's like, okay, give you an example. If a person says to you, look, I would like for you to, when you come in, greet me with a kiss and a hug.
Hmm.
Or the person says to you, why you don't come in and greet me with a kiss and a hug? Which one sounds better to you? You know, which one are you more likely to, kind of say, I'm gonna consider that. You know, the person that says, I would like for you to, or the person that says, why you don't. You know,
Yeah.
which one would you rather hear?
Um, I wouldn't want to hear nobody sounding like it's a threat. You know, I w- I wouldn't want to hear that one. You know what I mean? I would want to hear a loving, tender, soft, you know, a soft spoken one. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wouldn't want to hear the
Like
aggressive.
a right, like a complaint or
Nah,
something.
I wouldn't want to hear that. Nah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. And that could be either the man or the woman. You
Right.
know what I mean? So when you and that's what I mean about not communicating properly, because we all have wants and desires from our mates.
Hmm.
The thing is, how do we go about trying to receive those wants and desires? How do we make that person aware? And a lot of times we're making it aware, as you said, aggressively. It's happening more times a person is being aggressive and not intentionally. They're not
No, not
intending
yeah,
to,
yeah. You're right. Not intentionally.
right? But it's still being aggressive. So what happens? The person that you want to show you this love and compassion, you're being aggressive with them. So they're being aggressive back. So now neither one of you are getting what you want,
Hmm.
because we all want to be treated with tenderness. We all want to be treated with respect. We all want to hear some kind, uplifting words.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's what that was just a few things that I think that relationships are missing.
That's good. That's a good question though, because I was just thinking about it.
Go ahead.
Um, because I mean, I asked the question I just asked you. I always say what's wrong with them, but I never thought about it till I just asked you. Um, what I just asked you? What could make it? What do I think?
Yeah, yeah. What is the difference? What do you think can make it's messing up relationships?
What do I think can make them make?
But
What do I think they can make them better?
right.
I never really talk about that. So I was thinking in my mind, what do I think that can make relationships? What do I think can make relationships better? I think if people go back to showing your mate the love that you want him to show you, or showing her the love that you want her to show you, show him the respect that you want him to show you. You know what I mean? Show him the trust that you want him to that show him the same trust that you want him to show you. Trust, love, affection, all of that stuff that go along with it make a relationship successful. If people started showing they mate, they man or they woman, or even treating they man or they woman the way that they wanted to be treated, and that goes a long way with a lot of things. Like that goes with arguing. That goes with jealousy. That goes with narcissism, whatever that narcissistic.
narcissistic.
That goes with all of that. I really believe this. I believe that if you treated the person that you was with the way you wanted to be treated, then I believe relationships will start being better. I really believe that in my heart. You know, what I mean, just, you know, you don't want nobody to cheat on you. Don't cheat on them. You don't want nobody yelling at you. Don't yell at them. You want more affection. Give more affection. You know what I mean? You want more understanding. Give more understanding. You know, you want to go out more. Take him out more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I really, and I never really thought about that till I just asked you that
To the
question.
question,
But
yeah, yeah,
I always talk about what's wrong with them.
right. So how do you repair?
Yeah,
Basically, what can you do to repair? That's a different, different
yeah,
state now.
yeah.
A
So
different aspect.
I never thought about it to them. I'm gonna talk about that later on my
Yeah,
show again.
yeah. I mean, that's what it's about because we got problems, but okay, it's one thing to speak on the problem. It's another thing to try to find a solution to fix the problem.
That's just like if you got two people and one person is a cheater and the other person is not a cheater, then you got to think what it say like if the man is a cheater and the woman is not a cheater and he been cheating since they been together. What about if your woman been cheating on you since y'all been together? You know
Right.
what I mean? So what if you been cheating and she been cheating? But most of the time it's not like that. It's just one or the other. But what about you been cheating for 20 years and what about if your wife been cheating on you for 20 years? So
Yeah.
you gotta treat people how you want to be treated. That's that's it.
And
That's
that's our time, brother. That's our time. We done went through. I didn't even get a chance to ask you my last question. We'll save it for next week.
yeah. Save it for next week. Yeah, because I got to
Yeah,
charge my phone
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. We'll save it for next week.
But
So
that it been real. I always enjoy this show, man. Like
we
we
growing,
tackle
man. We
we tackle
growing.
we tackle some good debates and
Yeah,
topics.
yeah. We actually, it's coming together, man. And I
Yeah,
appreciate you. I appreciate all of you who are watching.
yeah.
We thank you for your time, your patience. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And we look forward to seeing you all next week.
That's right.
You know what I
All the
mean? And let
time.
them know where they can see you.
Yeah, and at about 9:30, I'll be going on my Facebook Live, Randy J. Sean Jackson, and then I'll be on my TikTok at J. Sean 763 at about 9:30. I got to charge my phone up a little bit.
And I
And
thank Miss Allen, Miss Rollins, Miss Jackson, Justice, and everybody else who was on that I might have forgot. And to next week, you know, see you till then.
peace.
Peace.